In this video, I'm gonna show you how to make a beef and broccoli in under 15 minutes that's healthier and tastes better than Chinese takeout. Let's get cooking. For the last 3 weeks, I have been craving beef and broccoli. Something about that delicious Chinese takeout just makes me want to eat an entire bowl. But eating Chinese takeout is not the healthiest thing in the world, usually because you want to eat a spring roll too. So we're gonna make a healthy version using some fresh broccoli, some flank steak, and a few other ingredients to bring together those essential Chinese takeout flavors. This recipe takes under 15 minutes from prep to cook. Let's go ahead and prep our ingredients. Flank steak is normally known to be really tough and hard to chew. The two secrets that we're gonna use to keep it nice and tender is to cut against the grain and cut it very thinly. In order to cut this thinly, all I did was pop it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. That's just gonna keep it more firm while I'm cutting. You want nice and thin pieces, probably about 1/8 of an inch or so. One trick to peeling your ginger is to grab a small spoon and just scrape off the skin. Now that all our ingredients are prepped, let's head on over to the cooktop. We're gonna get started by heating our wok or non-stick pan over medium-high heat. And we're just gonna give that a little spray with our non-stick spray. Once our pan is nice and hot, we're just gonna add in our beef. If you don't hear that sizzle, your pan's not hot enough. Because we cut this so thin, it's only gonna take about 60 to 90 seconds to cook this beef, but we wanna get a nice crust on this. And we're just gonna cook the other side for another 60 to 90 seconds. 60 seconds is up. We're just gonna pull this off and we're gonna cook our last batch here. While our steak is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and combine our ingredients for our stir fry sauce. I have a cup of beef broth. This is just gonna add a ton of beef flavor into this beef and broccoli. A 1/4 cup of soy sauce. 1 teaspoon sesame oil. This is just gonna add a lot of that Asian flavor. 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar. 3 cloves of garlic that we minced. And then we're just gonna grate in about 1 teaspoon of ginger. Let's go ahead and give this a good little stir. And then we're just gonna set this aside. Once all our beef is cooked, just go ahead and pull it off onto a clean plate. And we're just gonna set this aside. Next up, we're gonna cook our broccoli. I got about 4 cups of broccoli heads that I've cut into roughly even sized pieces. We're just gonna toss this into our wok. Give it a little stir, scraping up the stuff off the bottom from our beef. And then we're gonna add in our stir fry sauce. This is basically gonna help steam in this delicious beef, sesame, ginger, garlic flavors. And we just wanna cook our broccoli until it's crispy tender. What that means is there's just a little bit of crunch left over from the natural stiffness of the broccoli. It's gonna take about 4 minutes to cook. Stir it occasionally to make sure that it all gets nice and covered in our stir fry sauce. Our broccoli is just about done here, and as you can see, there's still a lot of liquid left over in this pan. That's not a bad thing. That's what we want. That's gonna be all the flavor we need, but we are gonna thicken it up. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of regular water. Give that a good little mix and just combine it into our stir fry. For that cornstarch to activate, we really got to get this thing boiling. And once that starts to thicken up, that's where we're going to add our beef back in. Kill the heat and just give this a stir until all the beef is covered in that delicious sauce. Let's get this bad boy plated up. For our plating, we're gonna start with 1/2 cup of cooked rice. Now, in the description down below, I will put out the macros for this recipe with rice and without rice. And I'm just gonna top this with a little bit of fresh chopped green onion because I forgot to pick up sesame seeds from the grocery store. And there you have it, guys. That is how you make a healthy beef and broccoli in under 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and give this a taste test. This hits all the right spots. First, the beef is so tender. We cut it so thin and against the grain that it just dissolves in your mouth. We didn't overcook it at all. It tastes delicious. The broccoli is crispy tender, the way we want it, not soggy. And the complexity of that sauce is so good. You get a little bit of hint of sesame oil. The beef flavor is crazy powerful because we use that beef broth. Whether you're meal prepping this or you're cooking this for a quick dinner on a weeknight, everyone's gonna love this. You're gonna wanna make this again. That's it for this week's video, guys. If you didn't see the last video that I posted, it'll be linked right over there for you. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing if you like healthy cooking videos. If you haven't already, give this video a big smashing thumbs up and comment down below what you want to see me make next week. Until next time, get cooking.